S, you need to go ahead and toss a coin to your Witcher because we're about to do our Witcher review. I'm so happy you finished it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in my second watch through right now of it, but I am super excited to hear your opinions on one of the few things in 2019 that I set the bar high. I'm negative Nancy,
Yep.
but I set the bar
Yep.
high, and it fucking beat it. So let's talk. And side note, yes, I'm wearing my Titans jersey today.
Yay!
I want to say
Go
thank you and
Titans.
congratulations to the other 30 teams in the NFL from the Titans, the 31st team, because we all hate that 32nd team. So
Yes.
fuck the Patriots, end of
Yep.
a dynasty. Derrick Henry's a
Yep.
fucking beast. And as
He
the guy,
is.
as the guy at work that says he was a Bama fan, he says that man is all dick. So I am so happy the world is finally seeing him. But let's get back on track. The Witcher.
Wait. First of all, I have to put in my 2 cents. Yes, very proud of my Titans. Derrick Henry was, I didn't know he came from Alabama. Gross. But I was very happy that he's with the Titans. I'm so proud of him. He did awesome. The game was amazing. I really hate the Patriots, so I'm so glad not only are they out, but we're the ones that kicked them out. So now we can move on.
Okay, good. Everyone's gonna be like, "Ooh, Witcher review." Click. What's this shit about the Titans? Who are they? So let's get back on
Okay.
track to. They are both. This video should be uplifting and the opposite of my personality on these because it did start with the Titans winning, which is rare, and it does have to do with The Witcher, which I'm super excited about. But go ahead, let me hear a little bit from you on this.
So I binged this in one day. We watched the entire thing. Like we got home from Christmas with the family,
Yeah.
sat down, watched all 8 episodes
Good.
in one day. At first, I was like, God, there's so many names, there's so many locations. Can I get a map so I can follow along? Like, there's so much information they're throwing at me, and I can't sort it out.
Mhm.
And I love the fight scenes. Overall, it was just very appealing to look at. I didn't feel like it was trying to be Game of Thrones, which I'm really happy about because people are obviously going to compare it to Game of Thrones. You can't help it.
Uneducated people.
Uneducated. Yeah.
I really liked how it was one of the few shows that felt like it was telling a good story. Not just a
Yes.
story, but it did an incredible job of bringing you along on the journey itself. And
Yes.
I'm so happy for it so far. But yeah,
Um,
let me hear your uneducated Witcher opinions.
Yeah, I know. I've never read the books, never played the game, didn't know anything about it going into the show.
You were surprised. You're like, what is it? It's a game in our original Witcher trailer.
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't even know. And I was so heartbroken.
So I loved when you realized that there were different time periods.
Episode 4,
It's-
I believe.
3 or 4. I think it might have been 3. There
It
was,
was
a
4 or
hint at
5.
it. No, it was because in episode 3 is when Yennefer gets her transformation and she
Yeah.
walks into the area with all the kings.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
you see the
And
little kids,
yeah, the kids, yeah.
brother and sister.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, wait, that doesn't. What's going on? And then the next episode was the one where he
Yeah.
went to the dinner and everything with the kingdom that we saw.
Episode
fall.
3 is also the one where he wraps the chain around the beast that he has to fight all the way till morning. And when he realizes he got to fight it all the way to morning, he's just like, oh my god, this is going to be a pain in the ass. But he wraps the chain around and he's like, heh, and it busts it and he goes, fuck. And I was like, yeah!
But I think that because your first 2 episodes, it's overwhelming amount of information, and you're just like, can I keep up with this? Am I
Yeah.
gonna have to rewatch this? Like, this is a lot going on. There's so many different storylines.
Well-
How do these storylines cross? And then you get to episode 3, and then episode 4 is when it gets really clear that these are different timelines.
Right.
And it kind of revamped the show. It was
did.
kind of
That's
like,
why I'm watching
okay,
it again.
okay, now I'm really into this. This is interesting. Like, it was good, and then that different timeline reveal took it to the next level. And you realize that Yennefer, her story starts like 30 years before everybody else's.
Yeah.
And then she catches up to, please pronounce his name. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong.
Geralt of Rivia.
What?
Geralt of Rivia.
Geralt.
Geralt.
Geralt. Okay.
Yeah, I told you, watch it with subtitles.
I know.
I told you
thought
this.
about that.
You thought about
so
it. It's almost required. There's a lot of times where you can't really. They do mumble a few sentences.
They do.
There's some stuff under the breath where
Second
highly
watch
recommend
through.
it. Yeah.
Second watch through.
Okay.
So her story eventually catches up, and then, we catch up to, what's the little girl's name? The
Siri?
princess. Siri. Yeah.
Siri.
Siri.
That's Siri.
Yeah, Siri.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like the phone. And then her story. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and seeing how it progressed, because nobody in this time period or time frame later on really knows the original Yennefer. And I love her transformation. Like,
it's intense, isn't it?
It's very intense, but like we were like, is that the same actress? Like, that was great prosthetics, and just the way like she carried herself and the voice and like everything she did
jaw to the
differently.
side the entire time.
Oh my God, she was amazing. And to be able to see her in 2.5, almost 3 episodes, see her as that broken character and
you
grow.
You feel
and
where she's coming from
Dude.
on her personality and her actions. Yes. Yes, very much so.
I love, I really enjoy her character, and the fact that she wanted all of these things, and she spends 30 years getting what she always thought she wanted.
Yep.
And I don't remember what episode it was. I think it was like episode 6 or something, when they meet for the first time, and it's at the orgy. And I remember when we did the trailer reaction, I was like, oh, there's an orgy going on in the background. You're like, I'm just looking at his eyes.
I
like,
was.
Okay, you
The
missed
White
the
Wolf.
entire... I'm like,
Yeah.
you're staring at a man's eyes while I'm looking at the orgy in the background.
Don't tell me you haven't looked at everybody's eyes in this series, by the way. They
Yes,
are all
yes.
awesome.
Oh, they are. They are. But I really enjoyed that moment when they meet and you have the orgy going on. She just mentions one word and it stops and everybody's like, oh my God. It captivated her personality. Like, she just wants to have fun and just experience all the things that she didn't experience. Yeah. She did experience all the things that she didn't experience when she felt like she was not worthy. And I wish I could see more of that 30 years of her advising kings, but it sounds like it was kind of dull from what she said.
Yeah, she gets a little burnt out. I love the
Yeah.
bug with the fucking knife legs
Oh
and
my
chasing through
God.
portals, and she's just trying to save it over and over. She's like, it's tracking you and everything like that. And then the girl turns on her, you stupid bitch, you're worthless god. And I'm like,
You're an
you
idiot.
better watch it.
You're an idiot. Like, why would she stay protecting you?
And then you hear the portal go off and she's gone. And she's like,
and then she puts her baby down, like, you can take her as a sacrifice. I'm like, you deserve to die right now.
yeah.
And then the baby dies too.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
This show pulls no punches with
No.
the violence and the destruction of it. I mean, the dead baby, literally her burying
I guess-
it. It's
okay,
rough.
so I do have a couple questions. So in the first
try.
episode, I know, and if you guys can answer them in the comments below, please feel free to. But in the first episode, when this is he meets the I guess the male mage. Are they called mages too?
Yeah.
The sorcerer? Yeah.
Yeah, sorcerers.
Okay. So, and that guy had been killing babies that were born under this moon or whatever, and that one girl that he met,
Right.
we don't hear really anything about her again. We get a brief comment from one of the other mages saying, well, we didn't kill a bunch of babies or something. So, like, what that whole story I felt like was like, in the first episode, it was all about these children that were born under this eclipse, and then they have been hunted down and killed, and he has to, like, and then it just went away. But when she died, she even said that your destiny is with the girl in the woods. The girl hadn't even been born yet, and like, she already knew it. Like, she already knew his destiny was Ciri.
I believe, and I may get ravaged on this, but when he's got the knife to the girl that's named Milk, he actually says, you don't have to do this, and does this with his hand, and a little white flame appears there.
Yeah.
He's doing one of the abilities, basically a mind control thing, that one of his casting spells that he has, to be able to cast it upon her, to make her put down the knife and not fight him. But when he does it, she's like, that doesn't work on me. I'm a mutant. Yeah. So it was believed that they're fucked up because they were born under this, the eclipse, but that kind of proved it as well, on top of everything else.
I totally get that story, but we didn't hear about it again. Is that something, and tell me, is it something that's going to be brought back up in
I don't think it will. You may get it referred to and talked about, and maybe a flashback or something like that, but I doubt it's not part of the actual main series that I'm aware of. So don't.
I wonder if it's, well, because it's interesting, like, did that guy kill all the babies that were born under that eclipse, or were there some that escaped and are immune to magic? Like, but she must have known from, like, a prophecy or a vision or something, because she said her dying words were like, your destiny is with the girl in the woods. And the girl wasn't even born yet. So, like, magic doesn't work on her, and she knew something from the future. So that whole story is kind of curious to me, because we don't hear from it again. And I'm just like, okay, let's move on then. Like, what?
How about Henry Cavill?
Yes, he was amazing. I didn't really
nailed
see.
It.
I don't know if he nailed it. I think he just did well.
Oh my god, he nailed the role so perfectly. And I mean, there's literally a couple montages online of him just going, fuck. So it's minimal, but you understand where he's coming from. Everyone sees him as a heartless, non-feeling murderer.
Right.
But he's a good guy. He's like a white knight, but not a white knight.
Right.
He has. I loved in the very first time you kind of really get to hang out and be with them or whatever in the sorcerer's palace, and all the titty girls and their apples in the background, and the guy's like, it's the lesser of two evils, and he's like, the lesser of two evils, when greater evil, a lesser evil is still evil, and when there's two to choose from, I'd rather not make a choice. And that's him just stepping back saying, let it unfold, I'll clean up what needs to be cleaned up. So I really liked, he's not wanting to like dive in and help everybody out. He's just like, you guys are fucking crazy. Everybody do what you need to do. I'm going to worry about myself and handle this. And it's, oh my God, he does incredibly well with the character through and through, and his persona and the feeling you get from him. And you can just sense where he's coming from in a lot of things. And I'm glad they added the potions that he's been drinking. I'm glad that he's got his own white wolf necklace. People recognize him when he walks into bars and shit most of the time.
The recognizing when he walks into the bars later on, it's because of the guy that starts singing all the songs about him, which my husband loves. That guy will not stop singing that damn song.
Which song are you talking about?
You're gonna play it, aren't you?
I'm playing it right now.
He literally learned it on the guitar and is just randomly singing it. Like, I'll be like,
I sing it at work in between phone calls. I sing it at work.
He's gonna, like, when our child is born in a few weeks, that's gonna be her lullaby. He's gonna be singing that to our child in a couple weeks. Like, it's like, please stop singing. Like, I'm already sick of it because he sings it so much.
Ninja, by the way, in Twitch chat just said, in the book, chicks affected by the eclipse or whatever showed some clairvoyance.
Yes, which is interesting. I would like to see more of them, actually.
I liked how it introduced the elves. I liked how it introduced people that you were like, man, I'm going to care. In Game of Thrones, when you got to introduce a character, it was like, man, I'm going to learn about this character. And then they die off, in a season or two. But this one, it was literally, there was a boy that was like, hey, Siri, come with me. Meet my family. Here's the necklace of elf ears. I'm going to I'm going to fight this war and avenge my brother. Like, 20 minutes later, he's fucking dead. And you're like, I said, no punches.
His mom deserved to die. His mom was like a horrible human being.
The little person got him,
Yes, I'm glad.
Little Chucky.
I know we've been jumping all around.
We have, because it's so much fun.
You drive me crazy.
I'm sorry. I don't want to break it down thing by thing. This is a review of it, not a fucking storytelling Cliff Notes high school version of it. I want to enjoy this. Let's discuss.
There are things that I want to talk about.
Then pop them off.
I'm getting to it. So I really like when we had the first episode and you watch the kingdom fall, you're just like, oh, okay, so we're not waiting at all for like to build up this kingdom, because this is way before you know about the time jump. So you're like, we don't know anything about this kingdom. We don't know anything about these people. We don't know anything. Like, am I supposed to care that this queen is dying and
I
her
like how
granddaughter?
it introduced
like,
magic quite
what?
nicely in the first episode with him protecting the wall and everything like that up on the windowsill.
Yes,
I liked him as
yes.
Geralt's walking through Blaviken, and after he just checks the first 3 or 4 dudes up, the other guys come around the corner and he just and does shockwave to kind of push him back a little. It's not amazing amount, but enough to kind of get him staggered.
Yes.
I mean, the executions that he did on those guys, I'm pretty sure I know half of those are in the game. So, yeah, go ahead and continue. I'm going to keep distracting you because I just want to talk about all of it.
That's fine. But no, I think it was it didn't have my emotional connection to that kingdom yet, because it was the first episode and I'm watching everybody, like, these people die and this trying to save this little girl, and I'm like, I have no emotional connection yet.
King got an arrow in the fucking eye?
Oh my god, yeah. And am I supposed to care about this? Like, this is a lot of like people and information and places, and I'm like, we're never gonna see these people again. And then you learn about the time jump, and then you get to go back to episode 4 when he goes to the banquet, and
that queen is a stone cold hard bitch.
Oh my god,
I like her. It's what's her name? Circe had a stone cold, but like the last season, she didn't have it as much. But that bitch right there is intimidating.
But I think
not just from power, but like you're afraid she'll just like stick you just for being a dick.
Well, I think what's even more powerful about her than Cersei in Game of Thrones is that she is a queen in her own right. She didn't need a king. She was a queen. She had the power. She fought on the battlefield. She didn't put up with any bullshit. And she was going to kill her daughter's love just right there. Nope, I don't agree with this. And didn't give 2 shits until her daughter explodes. And you're just like, oh, okay. So that was very interesting. What was that? Was that just her? Was she like trying to do something? Because she just floated there for a while, like with him, and I'm like, okay, what's the point of this? Like, what's she doing? Like, is she gonna like they stopped her eventually, but like, where was this going? Like, what was what was her purpose of like stopping everything? But no, Destiny spoken about through that whole episode and the whole series, or
the law of surprise.
Season. Oh my god! Apparently that wasn't like I thought that might have been like a real thing back in the day, but apparently it's more custom to this show, which I like. And when he said, he was like, fine, like, you have to give me a reward. I'll just take the same thing you have. And then the girl pukes and he's like, fuck. Like, it was perfect. And our sister, by the way, has already finished the whole season 2. We talked about when she came into town last, and she loves it, and she's going to start reading the books as well.
I'd like to talk about other things than you breaking down every episode, please.
Sorry.
Is there any other highlights you would like to talk about in the series?
I was just kind of making my way through that episode. I really liked that episode, the banquet, just because it revealed so much information, his connections. When you discovered that he was actually at the palace when
the full circle happened, when she's playing bones with the other kids, and she looks over and it's Aunt Pandora, you're like, what the fuck is that? What is that? And then last episode, he's standing in that doorway prior to her looking, and you're like, oh no.
Destiny.
Yes, I enjoyed that too. I was going to bring that up as well.
Circle. Yeah, that was like episode, I think 7, when you discovered it was a full circle, and you're just like, I love this. Like, it was just so fascinating.
Couple things on the outside of the actual show, besides the popularity of Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. Did you see Entertainment Weekly's review?
Oh, they
watched episode
good,
1,
right?
2, 5, and then gave the whole series a review. Yeah. And all they did was shit talk it the entire time. And people are like, what the fuck's wrong with you? They're like, it's an F. It's horribly done, blah, blah, blah. It has its flaws, but it's not what they fucking did. And a lot of people are pissed off about the reviewers. It's got like a 61 on Rotten Tomatoes, but its audience score is like a 93. Yeah. Which the producer came out or whatever was just like, hey, if the fans that know everything about it and the
Or
fans that don't know
fans.
anything about
Yeah.
it are coming into it fresh are all enjoying this. In other words, this whole community is enjoying it, but the reviewers are not.
Who the fuck are you?
I'd
Yeah,
rather
like-
have these people enjoy it because they're the ones that matter, not you guys.
Yeah, they're actually watching every episode and
Yeah.
care about it and having conversations about it. Like,
Yes.
I'm sorry. At this point, the critics does not matter because the show is gonna take off because of word of mouth, and the base that it already had, and then the fact that it is good and fans like it, and new fans and current fans. So F the critics.
Yeah. And the most popular authors on Amazon is like right now, or
Yep.
when this came out, the guy who was the one I called a piece of shit back in the day, which I've taken it back because he's actually taken steps back. He reworked a deal with CD Projekt Red to start working on Witcher 4.
Yep.
He actually was beating J.K. Rowling for the most popular author because people were like, what the fuck is this series? It ended up being the most popular and in-demand TV series of 2019. And that had Baby Yoda involved in that shit. It came through like a truck. Like I said, it's very rare that I get hyped for something. The only other thing I'm hyped for this much, for when this series was about to come out, is CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077. So I doubt it can live up to my expectations, but I doubted this could. I was like, this is going to be an enjoyable experience. We're going to have some fun with it. And it came out, I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. So, yes, the popularity of it is through and through. People are enjoying and rereading the books. Little known fact, The Witcher 3, you didn't even know it was a fucking game. It came out, I believe, 3 years ago, and it won like all these Game of the Year awards. But here's a cool fact. When it released, the most amount of people that were playing it at one point in time was 93,000. This past weekend, it hit 101,000, I think it was.
Oh.
At one point, it has more people playing 3 years later after watching the series. And they're like, wow, that was pretty good. It's a game? I'd like to be able to play that. More people are playing it now, 3 years after release, than when it actually released, which is phenomenal. I think people have gotten a passion for it, and not just because of the storytelling that it actually has. And he did bring up the two swords in episode 2 when he meets the fucking bard.
Yes.
So I love it. I love it. I love the monsters.
I very much enjoy it as well.
I love.
Like, it's very fascinating. I'm really interested to see where the story goes from here. I love the characters. The mage school, by the way, we skipped over that. I found that so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like I just want to see so much more. I want to see
raising the rock while holding the branch, and then the girl's arm starts rotting, and she's like, "Chaos doesn't come from nothing. You have to actually sacrifice something." So she's like killing the branch.
Well, even like the foreshadowing of her
Piglet.
taking the lightning and then shooting the lightning out later. At the very last episode, she takes all the fire and shoots out the fire. So like, I'm fascinated by that school, and like if you're not strong enough to become one of them, you become an eel, and you're just a power source, and now there's and by the end of the season, they're just taking in people that don't technically really have magic.
Yeah.
And all the politics in it with everything, and like the leader's niece
it's a
is
hypocrisy,
the one that,
which pisses Yennefer off even fucking more.
yes, and like, yeah, I find it all fascinating.
I like the magic elements,
so
not just
good.
in the beginning.
It's
they
not
introduced
overpowering magic. That's what it is.
And it slowly kind of escalates because that battle with the magic on that, because they reference that battle right before the kingdom in episode 1 gets taken over. Because they cross into the north. But that battle that's going on, everything from the smoke that's going out to the fucking mushroom she grows up, because she's like she's a herbalist more so than any other. With the worms that when the locket dies, it goes in Star Trek style and starts controlling people. I mean, the fucking cool shit, just through and through. The bottles with the like explosive
When we met Sabrina in the training class, we're like, it's a Sabrina. She's a witch again. Like, Sabrina's always a witch.
No.
That's
gonna
be our daughter's name.
I thought of your daughter when that came on the screen. I was like, I hope she doesn't end up being a bitch.
Don't die! Don't die! I'm like, don't you kill Sabrina. And she's not dead. because like Yennefer went off to find the teacher to help her, so she's not dead.
The girl that froze the cat, the first time you meet her, when they're talking about you know who that's the one that turns to the Nilfgaard and starts working with them. That's the same girl.
She's the nephew. She's the niece of the guy that runs the whole place.
Yeah, and she's the one that goes to Nilfgaard.
She's the one. Yes.
Should have been Yennefer in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all so fascinating.
It's all over the place.
I want to go back and rewatch the whole season, or because I want to catch all the little things that I missed.
I didn't even bring it up. Yeah, when this released, it released at 2 a.m. I watched 6 episodes before going to work. I watched more episodes than Entertainment Weekly did. Went to work, worked my full 8-hour shift, came home, watched the remaining 2 episodes. I'm watching my second playthrough now. And the Toss a Coin to Your Witcher lyrics are just stuck in my head. And no matter what I do or where I go.
I know it's obnoxious when your husband just starts randomly. I'm really surprised he hasn't just randomly walked by playing his guitar, singing it.
So he can play it on the guitar? Because I was thinking about trying to pick it up on the piano.
Oh my god. But anyways, moving on.
We're having a joyous Thanksgiving next year.
Oh my god. So season 2, from what I've heard, starts filming in early 2020.
I've heard it's going to come out in the fall, from what I hear.
Yeah, it's filming in the early parts of 2020. Mm-hmm. Right now, though, they're saying that it won't premiere until early 2021. Oh. But because of the demand, and if it keeps up with the popularity,
don't rush it. Take your time.
Yes, but if they finish filming, they could possibly get it out again in December. So there's a chance that we could get it in December again, but it could possibly be early.
Before it released, they signed season 2. After it released, they signed season 3. Yep. And right now I'm hearing rumors that they're ready to go for 7.
Well, okay, so the 7, they have a plan. They have a story planned out for 7.
MCU style? All right, let's do this.
Most series, when they go into production, they have to put together a plan for so many seasons anyways. Mm-hmm. Like Supernatural, the creator, Eric Kripke, who does The Boys, he came in with Supernatural, and he had a 5-season plan. And they laid out the plan, and then the show was obviously successful, so they went on with more. But, they have a plan for 7 seasons. They could get more, they could get less if the cast and everything decides to move on. So, but
what do you feel through the overall series then, watching it once and probably a second time?
I found it very enjoyable. Like I said, the time jump was the best thing, or not the time jump, the realization that it's different time frames was the best thing that could have happened to this show, because the first 2 episodes are overwhelming in the fact that it's just such new information, new words, new locations, nothing makes sense to you. But then once that clicks from that different time periods, you start piecing it together. It's like a mystery. I love the transformation of Yennefer. I love the main cast, the supporting cast, the lore, the magic. There's not too many complaints I have about it. I know that a lot of people were complaining about the there's too much female nudity, and I'm like, who the fuck cares? There's boobies. Who?
Boobies.
Nobody cares.
She said boobies.
I did say boobies, yes. It doesn't bother me.
There's so many good memes that have come out of this show, too, so far.
Yeah.
I really like the one where it shows him reaching into the other Witcher that's dead, and he's like, something ate his heart and his liver. There's only one beast that's too picky to be able to actually eat these. And somebody posted a screenshot of it ate his heart and liver and said, me after my divorce. And I was like, so there's so many good memes to come out of this. I'll be honest. In 2019, I had 4 shows that I really set above anything else, and over movies as well.
Okay.
The Boys, You, which recently I picked up and loved, Witcher, and Mandalorian. And The Witcher is my number 1.
Did they all passed your expectations, though?
Correct.
And The Witcher's your number 1. Okay.
Correct.
Well, we've done the Mandalorian reviews. We obviously this is our Witcher review. We'll do a You review once I finish it. But this I loved it. I actually just graded this on IMDb. Mm-hmm. And I gave it I can't do points like a something 0.5. I can only do like round
What are your
numbers.
point fives?
I gave it a 9 on IMDb, but I would say it's an 8.5 just because the first 2 episodes are just like overwhelming and I'm just like, what? But no, 8.5, like 9 on IMDb. So like it's right there. It's really, really good.
This is the first and only time my rating is higher than yours.
I gave it a 9.
I thought you said 8.5 to 9.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead though.
9.
Yeah.
Solid 9. I would give it a 9.5, but I want to watch it a second time. I'm in fucking love. I really hope it continues to do what it does. I hope it doesn't force anything. I like the mystic creatures they have. I like the lore that they're putting into it. I like the characters' interaction. You're meeting so many people. Please, for the love of God, if you end up watching this, turn on your subtitles and just sit back and enjoy. How many shows?
It's great.
How many TV
stories.
shows come out with a fucking catchy tune that you sing at work and your husband's obsessed with?
It's a great story, and I don't feel like they overdo any of the pieces. They don't overdo the monsters. They don't overdo the magic. They don't overdo the sex symbols like apparently some people think they do. I don't think they do, but everything is like a perfect balance, and that's why I was giving it a 9 because it's fascinating, and I want more, and I want to learn more, and I want to experience more. Like I put this ahead of The Mandalorian, which I enjoy.
I do too.
And I'm a Star Wars fan, but this was really, really, really good. So, I'm ready for season 2. I hope they get it out. I don't want them to rush it, but I hope it does come out again in December of this year.
Yeah, 100% right there. Love it.